Thank you for everybody coming in. We've had a lot of questions over the last week, especially the last 24 hours, about how the visit by President Trump is going to impact Evansville, specifically the downtown area. As was announced, he is going to be speaking at the Ford Center on Thursday night. He is scheduled to speak at 7 p.m. The doors to the Ford Center are scheduled to open at 4 p.m. Obviously, with the presidential visit, there are a lot of safety and security concerns that are being addressed by multiple law enforcement agencies, specifically the Evansville Police Department, the Vanderbilt County Sheriff's Office, and the Indiana State Police. We are working closely with the United States Secret Service in advance of the president's arrival. There are businesses that are in the downtown area that have had a lot of questions about how this is going to impact their business, how their clients may be impacted. While we are not able to provide specific details at this point, there are some things that people can be aware of that can help plan for tomorrow. First and foremost, the immediate area around the Ford Center and the Old National Events Plaza will be swept tomorrow morning. It's a term that we use to check for security concerns. Around 11 o'clock, 11:30. Once those areas have been checked, they will be closed off to public access. That includes vehicle and pedestrian traffic. So although his visit is not scheduled until tomorrow evening, you will start to see a very visible law enforcement presence by midday tomorrow. The route at this point is not being announced, but we do know that he is flying into Evansville Regional Airport and he will be speaking at the Ford Center. So if your normal route would include somewhere in the downtown area, you can anticipate some type of impact to your commute. The exact time and the exact route, again, is not being released. If you plan on coming to the event tomorrow, parking is a question that we've had. We do have the back 40, the Civic Center parking lot, where most people park to conduct their government business, will be open to the public. The public-owned or the city-owned parking garages will be open to the public. They are at 6th and Sycamore, 5th and Locust, and 3rd and Locust. You can park there tomorrow. There will also be on-street parking. The thing to remember with on-street parking is it is regulated until 4 p.m. So if you arrive at midday and you park there and there is a time restriction on it and you go beyond that, you will be subject to a ticket by the Parking Enforcement Division. So keep that in mind. Plan on there being large crowds of pedestrian traffic and increased vehicle traffic. You need to plan ahead. The worst thing that you can do is come down here at the last minute and think that you're going to park in a prime spot at 10 till 4 and walk into the front door of the Ford Center to see the president speak. That's not going to happen. We anticipate people coming early. You need to do the same. That will help a lot if you do plan ahead. There will be a lot of walking involved because, again, there will be areas that will be closed off to pedestrian traffic. So the most direct route from your parking spot to the front door of the Ford Center may not be open. You will be diverted based on whatever the Secret Service directs us to do. So be prepared for that. A lot of the activity that is going on with law enforcement at the local level is at the direction of the United States Secret Service. When they request us to block off an area, we will fulfill that request. Our officers should be able to relay information to anyone that has questions about what the route that they need to take, if they need to go around the block, if they need to double back, whatever that is. So don't hesitate to ask the questions. Our officers should be able to provide that information to you. If you encounter an area that is closed off, please keep in mind that that is at the direction of the United States Secret Service. We are fulfilling those requests because this is a public safety event, just like any other event that we have that has large crowds. All of these state statutes are still in play. If we have a road that is closed off, if we have an area that is closed off and a uniformed officer tells you that you can't go into that area, you can't go into that area. We have a lawful right to close that off. We really would prefer people to just say, okay, what's my alternate route? We'll give you that information and go on your way. We're not going to be in a position where we can discuss and debate decisions that were made by people at a higher pay grade than us. All we're going to do is give you the information. We would ask that you respect that officer's information and what they're telling you and follow those instructions. For the businesses that are directly around the Ford Center, while we can't give specifics on movements that are going on or areas that are closed off, that is a decision that you're going to have to make. We've had a lot of questions about should we close early, should we open it all. That is not a decision for the Evansville Police Department to make. That is a decision that the businesses will have to make, that the property owners will have to make. You do what you feel is in the best interest of your business or your employees. If you are open tomorrow afternoon, when your employees are leaving or your clients are coming in, they are going to encounter the traffic congestion that's going to be associated with the president's visit. If you are going to be open, you may want to communicate to the folks that are coming in that they need to plan accordingly. They may need to arrive a little bit earlier to make sure that they can get in there, get parked, and be on time for their appointment. We do plan on releasing some additional information later today with specifics on areas around the Ford Center and the Old National Events Plaza that will be closed off, so people will be aware of that. We did receive a request, from Scott Danks, the Democrat Party chairman, to have a place where they could gather and protest. They wanted to do it in an area that they were safe, in an area that we would be aware of. We have granted that. We will put that information out as well. We wanted to make sure that everybody that came down could express their opinions and do so in an area where they were safe from vehicle traffic or getting into areas that were closed off. So we have fulfilled that request, and we will get the specifics out. We do ask the public that comes down here tomorrow to be respectful to each other. We know that a lot of debates are very emotional. We monitor social media pages, and we see some of the commentary that's going back and forth. There is no reason to come down and behave in a manner that is inflammatory. You can express your opinions without engaging in people that have a different opinion, and that's what we would ask. Evansville has not had a sitting president speak in 30 years. I was in the 8th grade when President Reagan was here. That was a long time ago. This is a very unique opportunity for our community, and while we respect everyone's opinions, we would ask that everyone that's voicing their opinion respect others as well. Do not let your message get lost in a situation that dissolves into chaos. Nothing comes out of that that's positive for your group or for our community. So again, please be patient tomorrow. If you do encounter areas that are closed off, if you have a question, reach out to the officers that are there, see if they can get you where you need to be, and again, plan ahead. That's the biggest thing that we can offer. Again, I cannot give a whole lot of specifics beyond what I've said, but if anybody has some questions, I'll try to answer them as best as possible.
You know what time the Air Force One is landing?
We're not able to confirm any times or anything like that at this point. The President's movements, any information along that lines is going to come from somebody other than the Evansville Police Department.
I know you mentioned local businesses downtown, but what about the Civic Center and people that have business in the Civic Center?
The Civic Center will remain open. What we would suggest to people, if you're coming down here for routine business that can be conducted today or Friday, that is your best bet, is to come down on a day where the congestion is not going to be down here. We realize that there are things that are going on that the citizens may not be able to choose when they're coming down. If you have to come down here to the Civic Center or to the courthouse to conduct business tomorrow, you need to be aware that there's going to be increased traffic. Parking may be impacted, so you need to plan ahead.
Once people leave when an event is over, will you be directing traffic, and will signals be timed to help traffic flow out of the city?
We are going to do the best that we can do to help with the egress, but at this point we're not able to specifically say where we will have officers and what exactly we will be doing to expedite the exit from the downtown area. Same patience will be needed when you're leaving as when you're coming in.
I have one more question.
Okay.
Can you talk a little bit about the manpower that is needed from EPD when it comes to something like this?
This is something that is very manpower intensive. We're fortunate in Evansville that we have other events throughout the year, Fall Festival, Hydra Fest, the Shriners Fest. We have large scale events where the footprint is there for an event like this. All we have to do is expand that footprint. This is an event that is going to require some outside assistance. We're fortunate in the region that we work. We have mutual aid with other agencies where we provide services to them when needed. And in a case like this, they're able to do that for us. So you may encounter a law enforcement officer from an agency outside of Evansville or Vanderbilt County. They still have the same authority as a local officer. Their primary role is going to be to provide a safe environment. So we are bringing in outside agencies to assist with some of the specific tasks that need to be done to make sure that this is a safe event for everyone.
And I have a question. So with Riverside Drive being closed for HydroFest, has that impacted you all in any way? Has it made it any more complicated?
It's not going to impact the law enforcement aspect of what's going on, but it will impact the folks that are coming into town to see this. So Riverside Drive is closed along Dress Plaza for preparations for HydroFest. I know that that is a convenience factor, but this is something that the opportunity presented itself. The president wanted to come to Evansville, and we're not in a position where we can really do anything with the bigger picture. We have multiple things going on at the same time, and we're going to work with that. Again, we have a footprint in place to deal with large-scale events, and we will do what we always do, and that's work hard to provide a safe environment for everybody. A lot of this is going to come down to the public's response to everything that's going on. The planning ahead, I can't stress that enough. You have to be prepared for the delays, and you have to be patient. We want everybody to come in and do things, be responsible for their own safety. Don't escalate situations. Don't come in and because you're frustrated at traffic, you're frustrated at the pedestrians that are crossing the street when you had the green light. Just be patient, and everything's going to work itself out.
How about tips for people to not bring in large bags, et cetera, and that sort of thing?
There will be security screening at the Ford Center, just like there is at every event. I don't have specifics on what the restrictions are, but if you plan on bringing in large purses, billfolds that are just full of all kind of stuff, you're going to slow the process down. What my advice would be, if you're coming in, your driver's license, credit card, the bare basic minimum that you need. All that extra stuff is just things that you're going to have to keep track of while you're in there for the event. And when the lines get held up, it frustrates the people behind you. It slows your own entry. So minimalize.
And for those that might want to be along the motorcade route as the president comes downtown, will that be permitted on the sides of streets?
You will be able to view the motorcade. Again, we're not announcing the route, but the roadways themselves will be closed off. So really a lot of the same laws that are in play every day. You're not allowed to set up shop in a roadway ever. This is no different. So on the sidewalks, business parking lots that allow for people to view from there, that's something that people will be able to do.
And I think it's going to be a rainy day tomorrow, which may complicate some security. I know the Ford Center said they won't be allowing any knives or umbrellas, and that's the main thing people use whenever they're trying to stay dry. Do you have any comment on that?
Ponchos.
They work well.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you, Rob.